Morales from Black Women TV talking to Thomas and Bresha regarding Merry Liddle Christmas Baby, the third installment.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, the first thing I want to say is, do you need to see the first two in order to catch up with this third one?
I mean, if you want to, it's a good time.
You should.
You're cooking, you're doing your thing, like.
Should do it back to back to back.
Yeah.
6 hours. 6 hours.
I don't know about 6 hours.
You throw commercials.
4.5, yeah.
You know?
But really, this last one is a gem. Like, if you had to pick, I'd pick this last one.
I haven't seen it, Thomas, so that's unfair.
I haven't seen it either, but I've seen cuts and I already know.
They don't send you links? They don't send you links early in advance?
They want us to be surprised too. It's more entertaining when we're, tweeting live and stuff, and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, you picked this take.
So, going back, after obviously the second one, did you know there was going to be a third one, or you just got that call because we're going to come back and do it again?
Just got the call. I didn't know anything about a third one. I think, like I was telling you before we started recording, we were just in the pandemic, and then numbers came out for the second one, and Kelly and her team reached out, and they were like, we're putting together a third one. Are you on board? I'm like, of course. Took me half a second to answer that.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to get a replacement.
Oh, well,
you know how
really
easy it is to replace people.
No, but it would never happen because we're such a well-knit French, we're all friends. We're a family on camera and off camera. So any excuse for us to all come back to Vancouver and make another amazing Merry Liddle Christmas movie with Kelly Rowland was just, girl, I see you on Tuesday type of thing.
So without spoiling it, obviously the whole, from the trailer, it seems that Kelly's character is pregnant by your character. Bresha, what are we getting from your character that you could say without spoiling anything?
I mean, this movie comes with lots of surprises. I mean, there's lots of love. There's, of course, lots of love. There's lots of additions, if you would say. But it's fun. It's, has a lot of heart. My character is falling in love continually with the guy that she met at the wedding. And, she's going into a new phase of love, learning how to trust, learning how to take chances, learning how to show all of herself to this one person. And she's being very vulnerable and, looking at her sisters for advice. Usually they come to Kiara for advice.
And Thomas, obviously you get to play Kelly's love interest, 3 films, all different journeys that we're seeing here. What's this feeling like having to coming back and having people to see? Because, obviously everybody has a fan base, but people get to see it as during the holidays around Thanksgiving.
How do I feel about coming back? I'm lucky. I feel like the luckiest man in the world, to be honest. Like Merry Liddle 1, we were just finding our footing. I was finding my footing, to be honest. And just getting comfortable with the idea of Tyler, and Jacquie. And then this third one, I mean, it just flows. The chemistry with Kelly, not only with Kelly, but with the rest of the team, with the rest of the family, it's just amazing. And I think people can look forward to that, the bang, bang, the ping pong between all the members of the family. I think it's just good fun. It's just good, heartfelt fun. Yeah. So I'm very lucky.
You mentioned earlier you guys shot it during COVID and so forth. How was that setting like? It's one thing, you guys all know each other, you all love each other, but to come back and shoot it during these times, I'm sure it wasn't easy. Was there a lot more protocols in place?
Well, this was the second time. Merry Liddle Wedding was done while we were heavy in COVID. We all had to quarantine for 14 days when we did Merry Liddle Wedding. And we all stayed in one location. We were on this resort where we filmed. We did everything in-house. So that had the umpteenth, we were pretty much all together, all at the same time. It was like camp. So this one, we tore that place up. We had dinner there. We had lunch there. We filmed there. We slept there. It was amazing. It was like a very, high class, vacation movie. So that was fun. But this one, restrictions were a little bit better because, a lot of us were vaccinated. We still took protocol and was tested every other day. And but it was a lot more lax. Our crew was still incredible. They all wore masks and They all, kept their distance, and we all respected the protocol, but it was a lot more lax than the last time we did it. So this is our second time working during COVID.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is it about, obviously, this trilogy now that people get to watch? Like, obviously the first one took off, and you mentioned the numbers, so that's playing. That always is a sell. And hey, let's come back again and again. But what is it about doing a Christmas movie at that? Because now we're getting a lot of it. Before we only had a few, but now, and I do these research. You get like 40 plus movies now. Well, no, you got 100 plus movies, but we got to like at least over 40 with Black talent in prominent roles.
Well, I mean, I believe this one is one of its kind.
Yeah.
We have a Black director, a woman that directs it. Kelly Rowland, of course, is our executive producer and really the mastermind behind the movie. She created the story. We have an amazing writer, but everyone behind the scenes, our producer, Laretha Jones, like we have so many Black women at the helm of this film. That goes without saying. This is really different from a lot of the Christmas movies and a lot of the movies on Lifetime. So that's one plus that I love about this movie, which makes me come back because I'm always learning things. I'm always working with new people, and I get to work with my friends, which is a Black family. And most of our cast and our crew are all multicultural. And that was really important to Kelly when she was producing this film. She wanted us to see a reflection of ourselves and for each other to see reflections of ourselves on camera and off camera.
Yeah, I think that the Black family aspect is key here, because I don't know if there's any other movie in the slates of Lifetime or any other channel that show like just 100% Black family. Like in this one, we have a Caucasian neighbor that shows up, but really the story is centered on this Black family, and I don't think we see that in other movies. So
without trauma, like there's no
without,
trauma.
We're winning, yeah. Like we navigate the ups and downs, but we stay winning at the end of the day.
And then, when you think about the characters you play, do any aspects, now that we've done 3 films, do any of the aspects, storylines, plots, closing, resemble any of your personal lives?
Well, I mean, Kelly dressed us incredibly. We had an amazing costume department, and Kelly really handpicked and chose everything that we were going to wear. So everything that I wore, I definitely wanted to wear in real life. And I made sure I took a lot of that stuff home. But yeah, Kiara's wardrobe, all of our wardrobe. I mean, especially this movie, we took it up a notch. I mean, Kiara's got her own fashion line. That's one thing I love about this movie is that it shows Black entrepreneurship. This whole family is full of entrepreneurs, and that we're doing well, we're living successfully, and we enjoy the holidays together. So it's very aspirational, and the fashion is definitely aspirational as well.
What about you, Robert? I mean, Thomas.
Robert.
I'm like, who's Robert? Who's this? Is somebody else? I think just for me, taking away, I'd be Tyler in the sense that I haven't gone through these situations that are portrayed in the film yet, but I think that I'd react exactly the same way that it was written. That's why it was so easy for me to slip into this character, because his vulnerability and his mindset when he approaches these situations, that's exactly how I would approach, with the love, with the understanding, with the patience, talking to his daughter, talking to his wife, talking to his parents, talking to his best friend. Like that's exactly how I would do it. So yeah, that's what I mostly relate to with this character.
Each of you have worked on different projects, and you will continue to work on different projects. But when you've worked on 3 films, and pretty much sometimes the same team, what did you get from working with each other, from working with the staff, that helps you out skill set wise that you can take on to your next project? Is there anything you walked away and like, okay, I can do this better, or I'll know, or next time I'll do this, or so forth? Risha?
Okay, well, I mean, one thing I really, took away is that I love to direct. I just, directed my first film, my first short film for Sundance. And I was really inspired by our director. Yes, I'm picture locking today. I'm getting the emails that I have to check. But, I was really inspired by our director, Kelly Fife. And, she she's a director, and this was one of the biggest things that she's done. And I was like, you know what, maybe next Merry Liddle Christmas, I might not want to star. I might just want to direct it. And I just was watching everything. I was asking questions, and it really inspired me. And then when I got the opportunity to direct, I was like, absolutely. And it just really inspired me. And I learned so much from all of the Merry Liddle Christmases and doing them and asking questions and knowing what their shots were and knowing what I was doing. And that prepared me to do the movie that I just directed.
Mm-hmm.
I think for myself professionally, just I have a tendency to observe, and that's why I love to work in big casts, because I see how everyone operates in a certain environment. And, having the chance to be alongside Kelly showed me a lot about how you conduct yourself and how to be professional, like even at another layer, at another level on set. Same thing, like seeing somebody like Bresha operate and seeing my Canadian castmates operate. It's like I took just so much from it that now I even feel myself, just the walk and the way that I enter a room or a set on new projects is different because of all these lessons that I've learned on Merry Liddle, because we had so many conversations with the girls and the guys on set about work, about personal lives, and it's enriching. It's an enriching experience at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, Thomas, but I will say just being around, it's often that I get to be around Black people in one cast, but I think in Vancouver, it is very rare for a full Black cast to be talking about working.
Exactly.
And so I could really feel that it was a great conversation for all of us to have. And it really, you appreciated Latonya, and all of our Canadian castmates really, appreciated it because, we were Black and our greatness and living well and talking about what we love to do and how to do it better.
And when you say that, I think the only word that comes to mind for me is empowering. It was really empowering to see, because we look up to Vancouver is such a small microcosmos that, when we see Bresha, when we see Kelly, we look up to them, and it's like, what can we learn from you guys? So it was really empowering to all be together in this little hub and just discuss life and work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, since you mentioned you're doing a short, what do we got coming up next for you? Obviously, you've got your short film, and you mentioned Sundance. So am I assuming it's going to be playing next January at Sundance?
Yes, it will be. And it's produced. My dog just came in and he's very loud. Thank you, Peanut. So it will be premiering at Sundance, and it's produced by Kevin Hart's production company, Laugh Out Loud, and will be on NBC. It's a big deal. I'm really excited about it. So you can definitely look out for that. It's called Take the Job.
Okay.
And it was written. Oh, no, I have more now. Wait a second. Then I have OWN. I had done a movie with Karen Clark Sheard that's coming out on OWN Network called Amazing Grace, and expect me on another season of Run the World that will be filming in March.
Wow. So you're working. You always been working. If I look at your Wikipedia, I stop. She's never stopping working.
Listen, we got to make sure people know. We got to make sure the people know.
Well, that's always the thing. The thing I always say is that there's a lot of Black talent right now on television with a lot of shows on different platforms. It's just a matter of getting the visibility so people know that they're out there, that they're working. Even if it's a holiday movie, the thing I try to do is like, hey, whether it's I don't say lead role, supporting role, I say prominent role, because you can have, you don't have to, let's not play what number you are on the call sheet. If you're seen and you have a good scene, and sometimes, depending on the show or the movie, if you got one good scene that stands out, it's prominent and people remember it. And that's what I play.
Well, we appreciate that, Wilson. And from me saying it, that's how a lot of my roles have happened, even on Tyler Perry. I was in one small role, and then he saw me for A Fall from Grace. So thank you for, always acknowledging, prominent roles.
That's the key word. What about you, Thomas? You say you're working on something?
Yeah, I'm currently working on 2 shows right now. One is Nancy Drew for the CW, so I'll appear in the season finale and then carry on to the next season. And this new show called Grendel, it's from Netflix. It's a graphic novel adaptation with the first Arab Muslim lead, so that was great. Also, a lot of diversity on that cast, and that'll be premiering in 2022.
See?
That's what's up.
See, now I can say he's not just a brother from Merry Liddle.
No,
Exactly.
he's so talented. So many things, so many great things coming for Thomas. You're gonna see him everywhere.
So the question is, if you had a choice right now, what will be the next title of the Merry Liddle franchise?
I'll let you say it, Thomas.
Oh, I want a Merry Liddle vacay, Merry Liddle adult vacay. We can do a couples retreat.
Adult. You hear how we said adult?
Let's leave the kids at home. Let's leave the kids at home. I want to see Mama Michelle get drunk. I want to see Papa Wade get drunk. That's what I want to see.
What about you, Bresha? What kind of title can we come up with the next one? If Kelly called you up and goes, I think I want to do a 4th one. What do you think? What should we call it? What do you say?
I mean, I have to go Merry Liddle vacation. Who doesn't want to go on a vacation? Who doesn't? And we have a big cast, so we can have some fun on camera and off camera.
I'm going to let you guys go. It's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. Keep it going. So I'm always here to support. Obviously, the 28th, November 28th, Merry Liddle Christmas
27th.
November 27th. Saturday, a Merry Liddle Christmas Baby. Take care, folks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wilson.